Hello everyone, myself Paul Mukwana, Assistant Professor of EC Department at Engineering Institute of Engineering Technology. Welcome to the session of Radar and Navigational Aids. So, in the previous session we have finished read number 8. So today we are going to start read number 9, that is radio ranges. Now, we know that what do we mean by range? Range means a distance between radar and the target. Alright, so at which frequency we are going to measure a range? It can be either low frequency, medium frequency, or high frequency. Alright, so in today's session of chapter number 9, we are going to study the basic introduction of radio range, low frequency and medium frequency 4 course radio range, very high frequency unidirectional range, and block diagram of VOR receiving equipment. Alright, and based on that we are able to derive the range and the accuracy of VOR. Alright, so first of all, what is radio range? So basically, the radio range are the navigational aids which are mainly used by the aircraft. That means we are able to identify whether the aircraft is how moving towards the radar or moving away from the radar, as well as the basic distance between the radar and the target, right? So there are two types of radio range which is going to be used. The low frequency 4 course radio range and the very high frequency unidirectional radio range, right? The low frequency 4 course radio range is used by the aircraft equipped with the receiver which can be tuned the frequency of the ground station, okay, which is in the range of low frequency, or we can say in the range of 200 to 400 kilohertz. But the VHF unidirectional range requires a special equipment. What are it? That we will see in the VOR receiving equipment, right? So the low frequency, or we can say the medium frequency radio range is a brief treatment of the principle of the operation, which is over here, alright? And the VHF omnidirectional range, which is also abbreviated as VOR, VHF omnidirectional range. It is widely used. So first we are going to focus on the low frequency, or we can say the medium frequency 4 course radio range. So it employs a 2 antenna, which has a diagram of figure of 8 pattern. Alright, so at which angle we are going to place? That 2 antenna are going to place at the right angle. That I am going to show you in the figure, and the point of the intersection of these 2 figure of 8 is when joined to the center. So what is the use of it? It gives the 4 direction in which the signal from the 2 set of antenna, alright, which having the same strength. Let's say if I have placed a 1 antenna which is a figure of 8 pattern, which moves or which radiates a signal in this direction as well as in this direction, which has a figure of 8 pattern like this, and second antenna I have placed like this, totally a perpendicular at the right angle, alright. So that antenna is going to read the signal in this direction as well as in this direction in figure of 8 pattern. So I can say that it covers all range. This antenna will cover all range over here, and the right angle antenna which covers ups and down range, alright, like this. Over here you are able to see that the 2 antenna, one antenna which is A and second is N. So A antenna will going to radiate the signal in this direction as well as in this direction, okay, and the N antenna which is going to radiates in this and in that direction. Alright. So this is the polar diagram of 4 pores. Why it is called the 4 pores? Because there are total 4 directions in which my 2 antenna are going to radiate the signal, okay, but which having a same strength in all 4 directions. Alright. So how we are going to transmit the signal? So the diagram B over here, this is the diagram B. It shows for the N antenna it is going to transmit the signal like dash, then there is a small raise type and dot, raise type, dash, dot, dash and dot. Okay, and for the insert of the raise time, the antenna A is going to transmit the signal like dot, then the raise type, dash, then again raise type, then dot, dash, likewise. Okay, so you are able to find that whenever there is a raise time for the N antenna, we are able to transmit the signal for the A antenna in such a way that the signal transmitted by the A antenna is not going to interfere with the antenna N. Alright? See over here. From this diagram you are able to understand what I am going to tell you. So what are the disadvantages? The disadvantages are there are a limited number of courses which are available. Secondly, the noise is very high. Ultimately, it calls to a poor signal to noise ratio. At each and every point, we are able to hear the signal. So the continuous listening of sound may hurt operators here, and it is difficult to identify the pores. Alright. So these are the disadvantages. So how to overcome these disadvantages? That's why we are going to use VOR, that is a VHF omnidirectional range. Okay. As its name suggests, omnidirectional, that means it going to radiate the signal uniformly in all the directions. Alright? But its operating frequency is high compared to the low frequency, medium frequency range. In low frequency, medium frequency, it was in kilohertz. Okay? But over here it is in megahertz, lies in the 108 to 136 megahertz, right? So an aircraft provided with the receiving equipment, based on that it obtains its radial position with respect to the range by comparing the phase of 2 sinusoidal which is obtained from the range radiation. Over here we are going to measure the phase of 2 signals. Which kind of 2 signals are there? That signals are, one is fixed 30 Hz, second is variable 30 Hz signal. Okay? But if any phase difference is arrived, that means if there is any phase difference is there, so what does it mean? So it defines the radial pores, and which in effect the VOR may be regarded as providing the infinite numbers of pores. In low frequency, medium frequency, there are only 4 courses. Okay? But over here, infinite numbers of courses are there. Right? So, what is the principle of operation? Over here, the range transmitter radiates a 2 pattern, which is going to be distinguished by the different modulation. which modulation? One which is omnidirectional and which carries a modulation of reference 30 Hz sinusoidal. Okay, and the second pattern is figure of 8. So the combination gives you a rotating cardioid of at the receiving point. Okay, so after demodulation of the receiving side, which gives you a 30 Hz signal with the variable phase. Okay, and the omnidirectional signal gives you a 30 Hz signal of fixed reference phase. Okay, this is the principle of operation. Now the block diagram of VOR receiving equipment. So over here, this VOR will be at the receiving side. Alright. So we can also say it is a ground equipment. So you are able to identify that there is a 9960 Hz amplifier and a limiter, discriminator for a 30 Hz reference phase signal. So the signal from the receiver is going to be applied to the limiter as well as an amplifier and to the low pass filter, right? After the signal is going to be amplified, the signal we are going to apply to the discriminator. Why? To identify the different frequencies. Okay? Which frequency? For 30 Hz reference phase signal. Alright? So over here fixed 30 Hz is there, and over here a variable phase amplifier. So the signal which is coming from the low pass filter is going to be applied to the variable phase amplifier. Right? After 30 Hz resolver, we are going to apply that signal to the phase shifting and adding network. Then it is going to be filtered out with the help of low pass filter. And again, we are going to amplify the reference phase signal, which is of 30 Hz. Okay? And one signal is coming from over here, which is a reference 30 Hz signal, and another one is coming from the variable phase amplifier, 30 Hz, that is variable, okay, which is a, over here fixed phase is there, over here variable phase is there of 30 Hz signal. This is going to be applied to bridge phase detector, and detector produces the DC output. So the DC output is going to be monitored by 400 Hz modulator, and this signal is going to drive the motor. So that signal is having a very less amplitude, so it is going to be amplified with the help of servo amplifier, and the 400 Hz motor is going to be run with the help of that signal. Alright, and that signal is also provided for the synchronization. Alright. So this is the block diagram of VOR receiving equipment, right? So what is the range and the accuracy of VOR? So at the, as its operating frequency is in the VHF band, that means we have seen, okay, in megahertz. So range of this VOR facility is essential for the line of sight propagation. If you want to find out the line of sight range, so we can use VOR. Okay. So it uses the extended approximately by 0 to 15% of refraction effect. But the line of sight range depends on what is my actual height of the VOR antenna, as well as the height of the antenna which is at the aircraft. Alright. So the usable range is in addition, which is going to be limited by signal as well as the noise consideration. Why? Because if the aircraft is at a certain height, around 400 to 500 kilometers, so the range and the accuracy of VOR is also going to be limited if the height of the aircraft is going to increase. right? Let's say for an aircraft which is flying at this 6,000 meter, so the range is about to have 335 kilometer. So overall, the error of the VOR system is made up of error arising from these numbers of source. One is ground station and the aircraft equipment. Second is site irregularities. Third is terrain features. And the fourth is polarization. Alright? So these are the source which increase the errors in the VOR, and it also affects the range and the accuracy of VOR. Alright? So over here, chapter number 9, that is radio range, is finished. But still, if you have any doubt, you can ask me at any time on my below email ID. So in this session, we have studied the basic introduction of radio range, low frequency, medium frequency radio range, VOR, that is a VHF unidirectional range, and what are the receiving equipment, and what are different parameters that affect the range and accuracy of VOR. Okay, so in the next session we will study the session unit number 10. Till then, thank you for your attention.